Okay, restart, take two, because got interrupted. Anyways, this is technically day 4. I missed yesterday, but I actually gave you guys an update and told you guys why I was missing yesterday. I basically I got home pretty late and I had a headache and I just needed some time to just yeah. So technically I'm just gonna count this as day 4, maybe day 3. Well, let's just say that it's a streak. There's a streak of something going on and I'm being at least a little bit more consistent. Yeah. So let's start. Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time you're watching this video. It is currently Friday, August 11th, 2023. Right now it is 9:26 p.m. I got home not too long ago, like about an hour or two ago, but I ate and talked to my family and stuff. And today was my 4th day of tryouts, my final day of tryouts, and we're gonna see how that turns out next week. Anyways, I'll talk about that later and afterwards, or just more so in this video because it kind of pertains to this video. But yeah. So, yeah. Second off, if your days are starting, I hope you have a great day. If you're in the middle of your day, I hope you are having a great day. And if you are coming towards the end of your day and it has not been so great, do something to make it great because you still got time and you can still make it better for yourselves. There's always opportunity to make things better. You don't always have to stay in one, you know. You can have a bad majority, but you don't have to have a bad entirety, you know. So do something for yourself. Do something to make yourself smile, at least something that you can know will positively impact you at the end of this long and stressful day today. Yeah. Today's word of the day. Today's word of the day is actually brought to you by my match that I had today, and what I've most learned and taken away from, not even just today, but just from tryouts in general. The pressures that I've put on myself and reflecting off those pressures. And today's word of the day is actually just relax. While it is simple and cliche, I feel like relaxing is something that we must remind ourselves to do. It is something that we must tell ourselves is necessary and understand that it truly is part of developing. It's still, while it does kind of feel like we are stopping and pausing or, you know, not doing, you know, stuck in that grind set mentality and, I can't take a break. Relaxing isn't going to take away from what you're getting at. When we continue our lives, when we live our lives, when we continue to just go by day and day and just develop day by day and develop, we naturally are going to be more responsible for things. We're going to have more responsibilities, whether that is work, whether that is school, whether that is life in general, with just family dynamics, whatever the case may be. We have more responsibilities as we develop. And just changing and developing within those responsibilities, sometimes it's not so easy to accept them. Sometimes we put more pressure on ourselves to live by those responsibilities or those expectations that we have for ourselves or from others, or whatever the case may be. It isn't always easy to uphold them. And in the process of putting pressure on ourselves or just feeling pressure, we tend to stress ourselves out. And that is where, in most cases, you see the people get burnt out, or they feel like they're running an endless cycle, or that's where that facing that point of loss kind of starts, when we burn ourselves out. However, what I most want to emphasize in today's video is the importance of relaxing. It's part of balancing within getting wherever you want to be in life. You know, it is true you can always be grinding or whatever the case may be and pushing towards wherever you need to be at. But if you aren't doing it in a relaxed manner, you are bound to make mistakes. You are bound to be more hard on yourself. You are bound to look at those things more negatively. And if it is something you truly care about, you obviously do not want to look at something you care about negatively, which is why relaxing is important. You don't need to be perfect all the time. You don't need to execute everything how you desire to, because we're still learning. You're still trying to be somewhere that is much higher than where you're at. That's what goals are. That's what real goals are. And in that same process, you aren't going to do anything perfectly. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to learn. You're going to have new experiences in the process. And that is something that we must tell ourselves and remind ourselves about. We must be generous to ourselves in those cases, because when we aren't, we end up being frustrated. You know, we end up being upset at things, and when we really couldn't, we really shouldn't. That is why relaxing is so important. You don't have to be lazy about it. You don't have to be, it's not lazy to relax. It's fine. You are taking the time for yourselves to be better, to be, you know, not so stressed or frustrated with whatever you're doing or experiencing. And that is important. That is always going to be important with whatever you do, because that is part of balancing. And balance is everything in life. So it all kind of like ties together. I remember I've put a word today out called something along the lines of importance of balance, or balance is important. And it all also kind of just falls into that too. Relaxing allows you to balance your mind, your spirit, your soul, whatever the case may be. Relaxation is necessary for true development. It allows you to take time to reflect and evaluate the situation you are in. It allows you to look at your mistakes you've made. Wow, you may be, let's just say you're on 10 the whole time and you make a mistake, you're going to be like thrown off by it. But if you're in a relaxed and a flowing mindset, you are going to be able to face that adversity in a much more understanding mindset, in a not so emotional mindset, a more logical mindset, all just because you decided to relax. And it's really simple. People make relaxing much harder than it needs to be. Relaxation is truly just, you telling yourself to pause, to breathe. Breathing is so important for relaxation. If you ever feel like you are anxious, if you ever feel like you are frustrated, if you ever just feel like you're on 10, just take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to understand the situation and interpret life in that moment. Be more present mentally and physically in every way you can. And relaxation is necessary for that. So overall, I know I kind of bounced everywhere, and this is just kind of everywhere in terms of a word today, but I think what it all kind of just ties back to is relaxation is the key to balance. Relaxation is a very big fundamental piece to balance, and balance is important within our lives no matter what we are doing. We must balance who we are. We must balance how we do things. We must balance our reaction to things, because we're not perfect. We're going to have moments where we just kind of feel frustrated or feel more responsible for things than we really are. But when we take a moment to step back and just relax and not do everything so angsty or rushed or, mad or whatever the case may be, and just taking moments to accept what is and what isn't, we find ourselves happier. We find ourselves more aligned with where we need to be in life. We find ourselves understanding that it is more of a process. Life isn't just one little destination, it's a process. It's all a journey. There is no end besides the time you're dead, and you won't even experience that end. You know what I mean? So it's more about experiencing the journey now and relaxing and understanding that you need to relax. You don't always have to be on 10. Take time for yourself. And I guess my testimony for that is, or why this kind of video kind of came up was, I definitely realized a big shift within my mindset and tryouts. Those first few days, those first few days, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I told myself I need to do this or else I'm not making it, or I'm gonna fall off, or, whatever the case may be. I kind of had this whole big thing in my head where I put so much pressure on myself, and I was not allowing myself to just relax and breathe. And as a result, I didn't play as good as I should have, because I reacted and acted out of emotion. I acted out of frustration. I acted out of moments when I could have just paused and taken a deep breath. I acted out. I did things incorrectly when I know I could have done better if I would have just relaxed. And within the last 2 days, I've just been telling myself to breathe and relax, and whatever happens, happens. Being more acceptant with whatever life is going to give me, because it's all a process. And in the same process, I ended up playing better. So while I did feel like being relaxed would only make me feel like, lackadaisical and not really care about what I'm doing, or, make mistakes, but in the end, it did the opposite for me. It allowed me to pause and evaluate myself, evaluate the situation I was in, evaluate, okay, I am in this situation. I didn't really want to be here, but how can I do the least amount of damage to myself in this case? Relaxing allows you to not make so many mistakes. Relaxing is accepting that you are going to make mistakes. That is just being at peace with situations. I know I've talked about that before too. Being at peace with the situation itself. Being at peace with whatever you're going through. Yes, life is going to be stressful. Yes, life is going to throw a lot of things at you, even if you don't want to feel them or experience them. However, that does not mean you mustn't relax. Just take a moment. Even if it's just taking a few deep breaths and just realizing why you are feeling that way. Just relax, because it's going to work out, and it's always going to happen in some way, shape, or form. You can't run from it. You can't avoid it. Whatever you experience is whatever you're going to experience. All you can do is interpret it and, take it in as peacefully as you can. And that is the biggest thing that I've learned within like the last week. Just taking in life as I can, no matter what happens, no matter how it comes out, no matter how horrible or great it is, just relaxing. And that is all I have. Understand that, accept that, and live by that. I appreciate you for watching all the way through. I thank you guys. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. God bless all of you guys that have watched all the way through this video. I genuinely do appreciate you guys continuing to give me a purpose, to feed towards my purpose, and any support is greatly appreciated. Just watching the video, liking the video, sharing it with someone that you think would take something from this, or just even feedback. I greatly appreciate feedback, even if it's criticism. Like constructive criticism allows me to make better content for you guys and also for myself. So whatever the case may be, I appreciate it. So that's all I got for you guys. I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. I should go to work tomorrow after like not going to work for about a week, but we're gonna see how that goes. Do I have anything else? No, I don't. AD is out.